to nominate the people that were here, but sure. Where you also? No, you told him he didn't have to. Oh. Kiana Moore. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Kiana Moore, file number 23-02978, council appearance.
Prosecutor Paige Petrowski on behalf of the people.
Ashley Gallagher, trained on behalf of Ms. Moore, who is standing to my left.
Okay, how are you, Ms. Moore? I'm doing well, thank you. Today was the date and the time that was set for a final pretrial. Actually, this is set for jury trial. My understanding is that the people are moving to dismiss as it's not in the interest of justice to proceed. Is that accurate?
That's correct, Chairman.
Okay, and this is motion to dismiss without prejudice?
Chairman.
Okay. Case will be dismissed today. The without prejudice part means that they do have the right to reissue the charge against you. Do you understand that? Do you have any questions? Okay, we'll get you a copy of this dismissal, okay? Thank you. No problem. Any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, Your Honor.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Hannah Price, file number 23-0945, council appearance.
The prosecutor Paige Petrowski on behalf of the people.
Right, Your Honor, well, this is Patrick on behalf of Ms. Price, who is here to my right.
Okay, thank you. Today was the date and time that was set for a jury trial. I have a motion to Nolly that states that the people are moving to dismiss as it's not in the interest of justice to proceed. Okay, did witnesses appear?
Some did, Your Honor. I was not able to get the witnesses called up.
Okay, so the case will be dismissed today. The people do have the right to reissue the charge against you. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that? Okay, any additional matters for the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
We'll get you a copy of the dismissal.
Thank you, Your Honor.
No problem.
That person's not here.
But this one needs a copy though. That was Corey Goss. He needs a copy. Mr. Zane is here for James Seaton. I'm sorry. Gonzalez and Hamilton, the sentences. Yeah, Mr. Zane, you need to speak to the prosecutor, or
I'm sorry, what?
have you spoken with Mr. Zaney already?
I have not.
Mr. Zaney, can you hear me? Okay. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Sergio Gonzalez, file number 23-01205, council appearance.
The prosecutor Paige Petrowski appearing on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Sergio Gonzalez. I just spoke to him on the phone. He is on his way. He's just running behind us.
January 9 at 9 a.m. Thank you. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Hilborn, file number 23-02761, council appearance.
This is the prosecutor, Paige Petrowski, on behalf of the people.
Jake Rowling on behalf of Mr. Hilborn.
Okay,
He's not present, Your Honor.
I'll show bench warrant. Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jacqueline Montalvo, file number 20-03011, council appearance.
This is the prosecutor, Paige Petrowski, here on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Jacqueline Montalvo, who is in the courtroom standing tonight.
Ms. Montalvo? I'm pretty good, thank you. Today was the date and time set for sentencing. I do have a pre-sentence report and recommendation. The report was prepared on December 13th. Council, did you get a copy of that?
I did, Your Honor.
Do you need to make corrections, updates, or deletions?
We do not have any corrections, updates, or deletions at this time.
You can address the court.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider that Ms. Montalvo comes here today some 3 years after this incident occurred. During that 3 years, she has spent time working with a drug addiction therapist and has been working on herself because she does recognize that there are some issues that have caused her problems in her life. I think the report talks a little bit about maybe she's not accepting responsibility. I have found more along the lines of she's has a hard time reconciling the fact that we're still talking about something that happened 3 years ago, and yet, of course, it has to be adjudicated, and so that's what we see. She is currently disabled. She has applied for Social Security disability income. I know the report also mentioned she should obtain and maintain employment. It's very difficult for her to stand, and she has looked for some employment opportunities, but given her current disability, that is difficult. She is anticipating some resolution on the disability income. In short, Your Honor, we would ask the court to consider the fact that this is a 3-year-old offense, that Ms. Montalvo has been proactive in seeking therapy, and we ask the court to consider a probationary term of 6 months as opposed to 12 called for in PSI.
Want to make a statement?
Just like he said, I'm working on this. And I was really wanting to do it.
How are you
And to
working
this
on
day, I will not get in a vehicle, even if I've had one drink. I will not drive.
What else?
Just that I'm working on my continued therapy with my therapist. She does acupuncture. That's helps to stop the cravings and not wanting to drink.
Do you recognize that you have a unhealthy relationship with drinking? What does that mean, something?
I can stop when I want to, but then occasionally I go overboard.
You can stop drinking completely when you want to?
Yeah,
Okay. I've reviewed the pre-sentence report and the recommendation. I had a concern. I'm not gonna not share this portion. I had a concern when the offer was for you to be screened for a sobriety court after this being your second OWI, and your disinterest in being screened for that. Because for me, it sent out a bit of a, I wouldn't say a red flag, but a yellow flag. I believe that you may minimize or may be minimizing the issue that the issues that you're addressing. It's not just about you not driving when you're drunk. First of all, that's grossly irresponsible. It's dangerous. You could have killed yourself. You could have killed other people. You could have injured yourself, caused severe impairment to someone or to yourself. But outside of that, the fact that you don't understand that you're drinking as much as you're drinking, at least what was reported here, and the amount that you're drinking per setting, and that this is your second time in less than 10 years with a drunk driving. Are we supposed to wait until you kill someone before we do something about it? And so I think I understand that you are having a hard time grasping or reconciling the understanding that this is being prosecuted a couple of years after the incident. This happened in the middle of COVID, so you already know that caused a huge delay. I think you even reported, you found that during that time period, that was the highest that you were grappling with the use of alcohol. But I don't care if it was 3 years ago or 10 years ago. If you're struggling with an issue, the court doesn't get to turn an eye or to brush it under the rug. You've been here before. And so the court needs to now make sure you have the tools necessary to prevent you from being here before, or worse, prevent yourself from drinking yourself to death, because it's not just about you drinking and driving. It's about the abuse of alcohol, because that leads to poor decision making. Okay, there are other things that are reflective of poor decision coming from alcohol or substance abuse that's outside of driving. You could be home and you're drunk and fall in a tub, drown, or hurt yourself severely, or cause or not thinking clearly and you get into an altercation, or a number of things could happen. What you want to do is make sure that you're taking this seriously, that you're taking the issue seriously, and that you're addressing it, you're getting it under control. I'm not satisfied that you're doing that. I've not seen anything. Typically, when people say that they've been addressing it, I get some paperwork that shows me this is the programming I completed, and I'm in counseling here, and I'm doing this. I recognize that you're doing some acupuncture, but I also recognize that you have some other medical things that are going on, and I don't discount the benefits of acupuncture, but you need more than acupuncture to address the cycle that you've been in.
She does, I'm sorry.
Yes.
She does more than just acupuncture. She's a regular therapist.
Okay. I'm happy to hear that, but I don't see any evidence to support that before the court. So with that being said, I think that the recommendation, which does highlight that you were, or you did meet the moderate alcohol use disorder criteria, the probation officer that drafted this report expressed her concerns as well about your lack of acceptance or understanding of the extent of your relationship with alcohol, and that you don't feel like you need to address the use issue outside of driving. And that's the same impression that I got from you standing here today. And so with that being stated, I think it's important that we get to the core of the underlying issue. If we find out actually there is no underlying issue, it's been addressed, and that can be resolved as well. But as of right now, I think the recommendation of probation is appropriate. So I will adopt the recommendation. You will be sentenced to a term. I'll start you on 6-month probation. While on probation, you're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol or controlled substance unless you have a valid prescription, okay?
Yes.
you're going to be required to submit to random preliminary breath test and urinalysis testing. You have to pay the cost of that, okay?
Yeah,
Like, there was a stutter.
I don't have any income, so that's gonna be really hard.
Well, you might want to talk to your attorney about these options, because probation is not a right. It's you have the right to be sentenced, but you don't have a right to the sentence of probation. And so if you're going to agree to a probation term, you're required to follow what the court orders you to do, and that includes testing. And then what you're dealing with, testing is at the top of the list for me. And so you're gonna need to figure something out. Because testing is gonna be a requirement. If you're not testing, you're gonna be violated. So I don't know if you need to have a conversation with your attorney about how you want to maneuver this, but testing is not an option, okay?
I understand.
Okay, so you're gonna be required to submit to random preliminary breath testing and urinalysis testing. You're responsible for the cost of that. You're not to be at any bars or nightclubs while you're on probation. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to possess a firearm, ammunition, or weapon of any kind. Do you have any questions so far?
No, ma'am. We're done.
Going to order that you participate in a substance use education program, and you'll get additional information about what that entails from probation, okay?
Yes,
And you're currently on disability, is that correct?
I've applied. Back in June or July, I applied for it.
You applied for June and July, for disability in June and July.
Yeah,
Okay. When was the last time you were employed?
I took a leave of absence last October of 2022. And I wasn't able to go back, so we did the separation in January of this year.
While on probation is a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible for, okay? The $75 crime victim rights that you by statute must pay. Plus, per statute, you need to pay $50 state minimum cost. There's OWI cost recovery that you're also responsible for because the Lansing Police Department needed to respond to this incident. And that is for $335.10. You also owe $90 for an assessment fee. And $120 to the prosecutor's office for cost recovery.
And those costs we put on hold until my disability goes through.
They won't be put on hold. What will happen is that you have the right to make, or option, I should say, to make monthly payments on that while you're on probation. Let's see, probation for 6 months is gonna be $180. So you'll be able to make monthly payments on that, on this total number I'm about to give you. And when you're not making any payments, what happens is your probation officer will submit a request to the court to violate you. If you're doing everything you're supposed to do and the only thing that you haven't done is made these payments, I won't violate you. I'm not gonna penalize you because you're in a financial bind. But if you're not doing your substance use education as I ordered you to do, if you're engaged in assaultive or threatening behavior or using alcohol or other substances, that's my primary concern. If you've completed your probationary term and all we have to deal with is this final number that you have, that can be referred to collections, okay? While you're discharged from probation. So no, you don't need to pay it all at once. I recognize that you have, and I noted this here on my judgment that you are unemployed and you have a pending application for Social Security, okay? But just so you're not surprised, it's quite likely that probation could request to have you violated if you're not making payments. It's rare that they are only seeking a violation for just that. It's rare, but it could happen. Your total number right here is $850.10, which if you were making monthly payments would be $141.68. Do you have any questions about your fines and costs other than what I've already answered?
Not at this time.
There should be the rights as to probation, which I don't have here. You have the right to request early discharge from probation once you receive once you completed half the original term order, which in this case would be 90 days. And if you've had no violations within the 90 days preceding that request, your probation officer can make the request and provide a copy to the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor would have 14 days from receipt of that request to file a written objection to the request for early discharge. You can make your own request for early discharge. You would do so by filing the NC 512 form. That form's on the court website, or you can get it from the probation officer. You would file a copy of that form with probation and also with the prosecuting attorney's office, and the prosecuting attorney has 14 days to file any written objections to your request. If it's set for a hearing to address a request for early discharge, you do have the right to hire an attorney to represent you for that hearing. You do not have the right to court-appointed counsel for that hearing, okay?
Yes.
And then I've already advised you how you can get that form. Do you have any questions at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Any additional matters for the record today?
Nothing for the people, thank you.
Nothing for the defense, thank you.
Thank you. When you leave here, ma'am, you need to go down one floor to the fifth floor, check in with probation so they make sure they have accurate information for you, okay? Thank you. You're all set. Mr. Zaney, can you hear me? Is the person identified as Dre?
Yeah, that's me.
Dre, please tell me your full name.
Toriandre Williams.
Thank you. And Mr. Carter, you're here with Amber Valencia or for Amber Valencia?
Yes.
Okay. Is she with you?
No, she is not.
Have you made contact with her at all?
I have not had contact with her since she was arrested, and I believe she may have gotten bonded out again.
Okay, she's not present today, so I'll issue a bench warrant.
I will continue to try to get a hold of her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Zaney has not started his audio.
I did just receive an email from Mr. Zaney. I believe will be asking for a 30-day adjournment for the trial.
Okay, well, he's on here. He just hasn't started his audio. And Mr. Seaton is here.
You
Mr.
aired?
Excuse me?
I just want to confirm, are you saying Baird, B-A-Y-A-R-D?
No, I said Zaney. Mr. Seaton, are you in Mr. Zany's office right now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, can you get his attention because he is in the Zoom meeting room, but his audio's not started, and I just need to know, I need him to be present for me to reset this.
Okay, yes, Your Honor. I will get a hold of him now.
Thank you. Okay, and who's representing Leo Bayard?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who's representing Leo Bayard?
My lawyer, I have Barnett Levine.
Okay, please.
As my lawyer.
Can you start your video, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Jaden Watson present?
Yes, he is, Your Honor.
Where is
He's right up here.
Okay, on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jaden Watson, file number 23-03081, counsel appearance.
Assistant Prosecutor Kate Petrowski on behalf of the people.
Assistant Public Defender John Lee on behalf of Jaden Watson.
How are you, Mr. Watson?
Doing good today.
Okay, today was the date and the time that was set for sentencing that defendant pled guilty to a disturbing the peace. I do have a pre-sentence report and recommendation. The report was prepared on December 12th. Did you get a copy of that report? Do we need to make corrections, updates, or deletions?
Corrections, updates, or deletions.
You can make allocution.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would just ask the court to consider that Mr. Watson did admit responsibility and take responsibility in this incident. He appears to be a responsible citizen in almost every way. He has a full-time job where he has been for over a year and a half. He lives independently. He just had a daughter, and so now feels the weight of the responsibility of fatherhood. By all general indications, he's a responsible young man whose life is moving in the right direction. This incident, although an accident, did reflect some carelessness. And as I said, Mr. Watson accepted responsibility for that and comes to the court apologetically, willing to complete the safety responsibility class that's entirely appropriate. We would ask for perhaps a shorter term of probation, something along the lines of 2 months, to reflect the fact that he's been so cooperative and responsible in this matter.
Or does your client want to make a statement?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. The concern that I have, that I recognize that this is allegedly an accident, an incident involving a gun, but that this was a situation that occurred during a time where he was not to possess a firearm or any dangerous weapon.
Can I speak on that?
Absolutely.
So what was going on with that is I had got off probation and I ended all my court things, so I was eligible to own the firearm and they never took it out of lien in the system. So it was still in the system when the police showed up, and that's why they arrested me about a bond violation.
How long was your probation supposed to be?
It was only 2 months when I did it. It was 2 months of non-reporting. And I finished it in June, I believe.
You had a circuit court 2 months non-reporting probation?
Yes. Judge Aquilino, they gave me 2 months.
For someone, and I'm just looking at the police report here and the indications of your communication with law enforcement as it relates to the interaction. And it seems like you're pretty versed in the law as it relates to gun laws. Is that correct?
I try to educate myself as I can.
And that's good. Have you taken gun safety courses?
I've taken one. I took one last time that I did 2 months of probation. I took a gun safety course before I was sentenced.
Okay. So you had recently taken a gun safety course and then this incident occurred?
It was or it was a little before June that I took the.
So
safety
recent,
course.
it's obviously
Yeah,
within the
yeah.
same year, so that was
Yeah.
recent. Okay, okay. You think you probably need to take another one?
No, I just need to be more conscious of how I handle firearms and how dangerous they are. Can be.
Well, I would hope that you're already conscious about how dangerous they are. If you've already done a felony probation because of firearms, and then you've had this incident, and you said you've already done a safety course. Do you have a CPL?
No.
Is that something that you desire to get?
Yes.
Because someone who's obviously handling guns a lot needs one, don't you think?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
Yes, I am.
Did you employ the Dicker and Dale? Is that correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna adopt the recommendation. You're gonna be put on a term of 4 months probation. You will be reporting while you're on probation. I'm gonna order that you participate in a rights and responsibilities weapons program, provide evidence to the probation department. While on probation, you're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
It also includes purchasing ammunition or weapons of any kind, okay?
Yes, sir.
You're not to use or possess alcohol, marijuana, or controlled substance without a valid prescription. However, I'm not gonna worry. If I feel like that's necessary later, I will. I don't believe, at least based on the information I have, it says anything to do with alcohol.
With me, I believe as part of the, or as my understanding, as part of the key agreement, defendant would also be surrendering all seized weapons that were taken by law enforcement when this arrest occurred.
Correct, that was placed on the record at the time of this, at the plea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And my apologies, just want to make
Oh,
sure.
no problem. Okay, you're gonna maintain your employment and provide evidence of that to the probation department. Have any questions?
Got it.
There's a $30 per month oversight fee that you're responsible while you're on probation. Also, you're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior, okay? Okay, let's see. Probation oversight will amount to $120 and $75 crime victim rights fee plus a $50 state minimum cost. I'll waive discretionary fines and costs at this time. And then if you complete the rights and responsibilities course and you don't have any violations, after you've completed 2 months, you can request early discharge, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so your total fines and costs is $245, and you do have the ability to make monthly payments on that, okay? You have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you will check in with probation when you leave here. They're 1 floor down. And then I am going to note here, which is already in the file, that the defendant will surrender all seized firearms. That was noted, I think, back on the 6th, and I put it on my judgment of sentence as well. Any additional matters for the record?
Nothing, people, thank you.
Nothing for the defense. Thank you.
Thank you, you're all set. Do we have someone from Mr. Zany's office now?
Your Honor, we're still